Okay, so I wanted to come on and make a video, a real time, true to life video on being a targeted individual and what that looks like, but how it affects you and some of the things that we can put in to start helping ourselves. Okay, so, as a targeted individual, depending on your situation and how involved and how big it is, you have people that are in the vicinity of where you lay your head that is entering premises, taking trash, altering units, doing all sorts of stuff, taking down your patio stuff and putting shitty pampers. And, you have people doing all sorts of stuff around the clock, driving around your locations 24/7, as if you, well, for some of y'all, it's big money on it. That's why there's so many people that's willing to go this hard, this long. Okay, so they're trying to create a situation for you. You know this collective where, since it wasn't true, they want to manufacture truth. Okay, in terms of affecting your mental health, your physical health, and when there's a manifestation of that, or you're tired, you're consumed with all of the constant assaults and trying to manage life, something is bound to be neglected. Not, on top of that, if you're anything like me, until I figured it out, I wasn't taking out the trash, honey. I was bagging it up and lining it up and, strategizing on how to get rid of it because I discovered people was being weird. I'm like, what are they doing? They're doing weird rituals and, it's getting very, very creepy. And I don't even have the money of famous people to be tolerating this kind of stuff, okay? At least for the famous people, it ain't fun, but the buffer is they're rich and they could get on a jet and go somewhere and, you know what I'm saying? They got security and all this stuff. Well, I don't have that. So this creepiness ain't cute for someone like myself, okay? And I'm a single mother of an adult disabled who is equally targeted. Okay, these people are doing satanic ritual abuse every day, all day. The people that's above him, they're circulating, doing stuff. All kinds of shit that most of y'all would not believe, okay? They strategized him being in this particular unit because those that are around him are in cahoots with one another and the people that have offered them money, essentially, okay, to do these things, to torture, to entrap, to create issues. So anyway, I don't want to get too far on that in this video. I'm showing the layout because, again, something gets neglected. You're exhausted. You're doing clearings. You're trying to live life. You're trying to take care of your children. They're constantly making noise. They're constantly following you around, being rude, blowing smoke in your face and your kids' face with their cars. Like, it's just every day, something. Okay? 24/7, nonstop. Okay? To such an extent that some of y'all, if you're like myself, once upon a time you could have been a movie buff. You ain't even doing that no more. It's around the clock. You try to enjoy yourself, dance and sing, but for the most part, y'all, it's around the clock frequencies and focus because that's how intensified they are. They have people on schedule to do spell work and to surveillance illegally. Okay? And some of y'all, your relatives is in the vicinity, possibly by one of their aliases or one of their cohorts that's in cahoots with the whole thing because of their obsession with having proximity to you or your children. Okay? And they are wanting to, as you all have to call the cops and do certain things to create reports as you are building for your RICO case, possibly, they're trying to manufacture that you all are not capable of taking care of yourself. This is a lie that they told to judicial systems in order to keep what they had stolen, okay? They could have paid people to intercept your mail. You didn't get anything. You were left out of something, and they're paying people with the stuff that is yours. And so now a part of what they pay these people to do is psychologically, it's called psychological warfare. Vandalize your space, play head games, do spell work, follow you around, be disruptive, attack your children, Trigger warning. Okay. Like I've said on many videos, they came in his unit and they stole his EBT card. They put some weird shit on his wall. Okay. Interfering with my ability to make money. All sorts of stuff in order to create a burnout or a breakdown. Now, so that when you call the cops and you talk to authorities and you do all these things, so that when they come in, they, because they have their cameras, and so they can be like, oh my God, this person is not well. They are not capable. We told you they're not well. We told you they're not capable. Mind you, they're not telling them the whole conspiracy and what they've been doing to you every day, 24 hours a day, to you and your children. Okay? They never tell that part. They only highlight the part where there's a manifestation of their abuse that they are pretending to not do. Okay? So one of the things I want to encourage you all to do not be upset or beat up yourself about that, okay? You're one person. This has been a collaborative effort for some of you of thousands of people, okay? Hundreds to thousands of people collaborating against you 24 hours a day. You got famous people who are bored, highfalutin, greedy, and entitled. You got up-and-comer wannabers that feel like you're a threat. You have, it's just a numerous amount of things, okay? Estranged relatives, people's exes, your exes, everybody in Texas or wherever you're at, okay? And so they may mock and walk around with their chest stuck out and all arrogant and smug, but everything that they do is a team effort, okay? It took a team and several teams to even penetrate you the least bit, okay? So give yourself a break, but with this information, give intention to do what you can to take care of yourself, even in the physical and the stuff that, you're only one person. I get that, okay? To clean, to rearrange. This is going to help us to shift up the energy, because if they're entering your premises, who knows what the hell they're putting, okay? So, rearrange the energy, clean the space, air it out, and set some intentions, and then continue to call the cops. And as you move forward, now when cops show up, they have something else they can capture on their little videos, okay? And they wear this, by the way. I'm not saying it to be sassy. They have to wear body cameras nowadays just because, the way things have gone, okay? That's for their safety. It's for your safety and all of that, okay? So now, because that's a strategy, okay, they're always strategizing and they think they know everything and that they got this on a lock and in a bag, because they're going to stress you out and it's going to manifest. And so when you try to go get help, people are going to be looking at you some kind of way. Like, that's the whole vibe, okay? So take your day off, do what you have to do to care for you and your children and your space, shake it up, okay? And continue to take notes, continue to move in silence, continue to do what you have to do. But I just wanted to share that is a strategy. So though it is unfair, and you and I both know what you have had to endure, okay? Some of these people are lazy themselves, and the only reason why is some of their spaces may be all supreme and pristine is because they got a whole lot of support, and or they're trauma dumping all over. They're not under the weight of the type of abuse and assault that you all are under. As simple as that, okay? Because most time they're the abusers, okay? So anywho, do that because it's used against you. These are just one of many things that they create and manufacture, okay? That is wrong, yes, and we can put some judgment on that. However, do what you can. If you can ounce up some strength and set aside some time and ignore their BS for 24 hours or something like that, if that's possible, okay? And clean up your space, clean up your kids' space, throw away some stuff. I have full intention today to go through here and throw away quite a bit of shit as I'm guided, okay? There you go. Love y'all. Namaste.